Just a moment, folks. Hi, everybody. I think I've wrong people. Happened. My bad. I think I sort of copied and I have sort of made the edited the changes in the other people, which was supposed to be the copy of this, the yesterday one. Sorry for that. Okay, it's done now. So, how are you? How are you doing? How is preparation going on? Um, Let me know for any special queries, for any special kind of classes which you require. I'm bringing a course on Plus channel. I'm also bringing a class on the special classes which are free classes on Academy channel. Uh, so I think you can utilize you can tell me and we can in the comment section. We can do it either in the YouTube sessions or we can do it also on the special classes. So on Academy app. So, are you people writing full length mock test? If you have not started writing full length mock test, please write at least. So, if your preparation is not in a very good shape, I'll say that you write at least 7 to 10 mock tests in coming weeks, and you analyze those mock tests very, very properly. If you haven't purchased any proper, if you haven't made an investment into preparation platform, any coaching, you can consider an academy as a very good option because you can see the kind of work which we are doing when it is just for free. We come so punctually and we try to do our best in terms of delivering the content. We solve actual CAT questions. So that way, I think an academy is a trusted name. Also, um, let also there are a lot of free classes which are also happen. Like I said, there are a lot of special free live classes which happen on an academy app. I do a Sunday class on 5 p.m. and Wednesday class at again 5 p.m. This Sunday it will not be happening, but from next week onwards it will streamline fashion. Every Wednesday 5 p.m. and every Sunday 5 p.m. And also we will be doing I'll be bringing in special plus classes which will only be able to see when you when you will be subscribing to JustCat. So yeah, my name is Anupam. I have more than 31 hours of training of cat training, uh, number of hours in terms of under my belt. At the same time, I've trained more than 3,500 students for cat, more than 3,500 students and candidates for cat. I have also developed verbal ability questions with respect to verbal ability and reading comprehension for various clients such as one of them being GMAT or the GMAT examination. So please download on Academy app, install it, go to plus, look at, then subscribe. So from so you will find these 5 options in front of you, and anything more than 12 months makes sense. If you look at the pricing, it is 15,750 and is 18,900 for 24 months and 15,750 for 12 months. The discount code, if you will use Saxena 10, then you will get 10% discount. An Academy subscription, you get live classes, you get to interact with the educator, get live polls and leaderboard, series analysis, and live doubt clearing sessions, which so please utilize on Academy subscription. Let us just talk about today's RC. So we're doing this quiz series from many. This is the 6th week basically. Already see the number 27 PPTs. So 27. Cat live is only 15. 27 divided by 4, you can easily understand that we are in the 6th week going on and 7th week. So 6th will end tomorrow basically. That the 7th week will start from the coming Monday. So a lot of work which we have done and a lot of insights which we have discussed with respect to. So what we do is generally we open up an RC, full cat RC, we make it summary, we try and understand its central idea, we try and understand its primary purpose and solve the entire. First we make summary of paragraph wise, we make summaries, and then we go and then we make summaries the essential idea of the entire paragraph and the primary purpose of the entire reading. Indian government has announced an international competition to design a national war memorial in, in New Delhi, honor all of the Indian soldiers who served in various wars and counter-insurgency campaigns from 1947 onward. Government is that there's international competition to design a national war memorial in Italy to honor all the Indian soldiers who served in various wars and counter-insurgency campaigns from 1947 onward. So before 1947 onwards, we're not talking about, because Indian Army, current Indian Army is almost or it's almost same, or entire units or regiments or a lot of things are same what was there in the case of British Indian Army also. Same things and same regiments and same units, same certain commands have remained same, so certain structures have remained. So, to honor all of the soldiers who served in the various wars. In terms of the competition also specified that the new structure would be built adjacent to the India Gate, a memorial to the Indian soldiers who died in the First World War. It'll so the India Gate is there in Delhi. Um, so the new structure will be built right adjacent to India Gate, a memorial to the Indian soldiers who died in the First World War. Between the old, so First World War happened when Britishers were ruling India. So uh, it was a memorial for the Indian soldiers which British had basically made. Between the old imperialist memorial and the proposed nationalist one, India's contribution to the Second World War is airbrushed out of existence. So they're saying that. So what the first paragraph is saying that the main contention we get to know in the last line, that that though we can write the summary as though the new war memorial uh, has been proposed, India's contribution to Second World War has been ignored. Or you can also say that that whatever contribution, whatever India suffered in it, that has also been ignored. But in a way, it means same. India's contribution to the second has been ignored, or you can also look. You can also use the word overlooked. Indian government's conception of war memorial was not merely absent-minded, rather it accurately reflected. So it was not absent-minded; it was conscious basically. Rather it accurately reflected the fact that both academic history and popular memory have to come to terms with India's World War and India's Second World War. It says that use the word two words here, academic history and popular memory have yet to come to terms with India's Second World War, which continues to be seen as a little more than mood music in the drama of India's advance towards independence and partition in 19. So they saying that and we know this for ourselves that we as Indians do not know much about what was the contribution of India in the Second World War. And it is just seen as a mood music, means a background music basically, which sort of helps in creating a setting of a kind, or of bringing a certain effect. Nothing much. uh, it is not an essential component. It is not a major component. not something which has to be given in individual importance as such, just an ancillary or subsidiary aspect. In the drama of India's advance towards independence and partition in 1940, further, the political trajectory of the post-war subcontinent has militate against popular remembrance of war. Further, the political trajectory of the post-war. So it also says that the second point comes up that um, the way in which or the progress or the movement or the shape which the politics has taken in terms of people electing governments, people choosing their own governments, or there's this fight between there is this enmity between three wars. Three wars we have fought with Pakistan. One is of course a proxy war which they don't agree to Kargil that they were involved, but at least two wars, 1965 and 1971, two wars we have fought, at least clearly we have fought with each other. So, and if you consider there was another war in 1947 also, for 47, 48 also, which was fought for the Kashmir basically, and that's when the ceasefire happened. So we fought three wars, and then fourth, if you say Kargil. So the politics has taken such a turn, such is in such a condition that we it is militate means it is a factor against it acts as a deterrent which prevents something from happening, what that popular remembrance of war, that we do not remember Second World War as a popular thing, as a war which India fought for its own freedom, because it is not seen as that. With partition and the onset of the India-Pakistan rivalry, both of the new nations needed fresh stories. With the partition and the onset of India-Pakistan rivalry, both of the new nations needed fresh stories of self-legitimization rather than focusing on the shared wartime experiences. They're saying and it added whatever I was saying earlier, that there was this rivalry between India and Pakistan, which people needed stories for self legitimization. Self legitimizations means about being reassured of your own identity, of your own existence. So when a country or when a country or a family starts afresh, or when a person starts a fresh life, uh, they need some positive aspects. They need some positive stories. They need something really good, to feel about themselves. And sometimes these stories are created, told often, once, a number of times, you know, in family parties, in trains, in the in meetups with friends, outside, over phone, that it becomes a part of a certain kind of a narrative which a person sets for himself, right? So in a similar way, a country also needs some stories, some positive things, right? To feel good about itself, to be reassured, for the from the to validate one's own existence, if that's the right word, rather than focusing on shared wartime. So since there is Pakistan rivalry, we don't need shared experiences, we needed basically stories which are of which are independent of India-Pakistan combination. They are the stories which India needed was to be India's story and not Pakistan's story. And story which Pakistan needed had to be the Pakistan story and not India's story. It has to be independent of each other, had to be good about of oneself, of itself, and not talking about common ideology or commonly fighting or common enemy. That was not the case. Basically, this is saying that it's saying that academic, that history and collective memory people say that Second World War has not been understood in the academic history and in the understood in the minds of academic historians, common people. Also says that further the political trajectory, and it also says that the war, that the political climate, because that see Pakistan for India and India for Pakistan, they're not only two neighboring nations, they're also an election vote blank. I'm not being political about one party or the other party. Everybody does this because to direct the energy and the passions and to find a scapegoat for any problem, because any even if India and Pakistan were doing amazing in all the parameters, they were doing amazing in terms of like defense and agriculture, food, poverty, education, research, we whatever would have been the case, still certain things would have been, there might have been some misses here and there, and whatever the misses will be, or certain problems will be, the political dispensation, whichever political party it is or whichever administrative body it is, they might want to uh, find a blame, a scapegoat for it, a party or a person to blame for it. Also you can see that that's why I said that, and because they have to get votes from people, right? Have to convince people to vote for them. This is also important. The political climate and and can I write foreign politics, or I can say the Indo-Pak Pak, the Pak rivalry. along with the need for validation or self-assurance, political climate and the Indo-Pak rivalry, along with the need for validation or uh, validation or self assurance uh, has are also the factors behind the problem. However, the Second World War played an important role in both independence and partition of it. Saying that it's not a mood music, but it's played an important role. Now it is saying that until now it's first said that it brought introduced the idea. Second, told why it has happened. So if you read, if you make a the purpose of the first paragraph wanted to introduce the idea, introduce the problem which or the concern which the author wants to raise respect to India's and Indians the Indian attitude towards the First World War, of which they were an important part or an important player. Second paragraph talks about the reasons why this might have happened. This indifference which Indians have towards their own contribution in World War II. What might be the reason behind this lack of sympathy or apathy or sort of this attitude that we don't want to own that part of the history because of because India's uh, role in the Second World War has not been completely understood in the minds of the academic historians and common people. The political climate and the Indo-Pak rivalry, along with the need for validation or self-assurance, are also the factors behind the problem. However, the Second World War played a crucial role in both the independence and partition of India. However, the Second World War played a crucial role in both independence and partition of India. The Indian Army recruited, trained, and deployed 2.5 million men, along with 90,000 of which were killed and many more injured. Even at the time, it was recognized as the largest volunteer force in the world. It says that India, remember, 2.5 million, 25 lakh people uh, it's involved in the war from India. 90,000 of them were killed. Like in COVID, thus far, I think we have crossed the mark of say a lakh or two. I'm sorry, I'm not very familiar with. It's not a good thing to compare to. But if you just imagine the mammoth scale and imagine that what was our population then 80 years back, 80 almost 80 years back, what was our population, and with respect to that, the amount of loss which we did and the amount of contribution which we made, the complete strength of Indian Army, Air Force, Navy combined together will be 25 lakh in now. So imagine the kind of effort which we did, and 90,000 of which were killed and many were injured. Even at that time, it was recognized as the largest volunteer force in the world. India's contribution was very large. No, Second World War. Also, the war played an important role. War played important role the independence of India. Okay. India's material and financial contribution to the war was equally significant. So it says that India's material and financial contribution to the war was equally significant. India emerged, so from men it was very high in terms of material financial was also very high. India emerged as a major industrial, military, industrial and logistical base for allied operations in Southeast Asia and the Middle East. This led the United States to take considerable interest in the country's future, so that it was no longer the preserve of the British government. So in India, India's contribution from logistics standpoint was also amazing, and this led to the change in uh, the way US looked at India. This view of change. So um, India was a important was an important contributor from finance, from material and logistics, finance. And logistics. The US, because of this, the US changed its stand. um, US in India as a although that didn't happen because basically Russian involvement happened a lot. US not get a lot of, maybe they might have got in certain areas in terms of the business related and some material or other stuff, or but industry or electronics, and later in IT. But at least, if even if they don't show, they can have a lot of people right in India who are below the radar and working for some nearby country, or this, for example, they are a tab on what is happening near India or any other important uh, country for India, for US to watch on. That can be a good way to do it. Yeah, other wartime developments pointed in the direction of the India's independence and a stunning reversal of its long-standing financial reversal with India, with Britain. India finished the war as one of the largest creditors. It's say that India um, gave provided a lot of financial to Great Britain. Such extraordinary mobilization of war was achieved at great human cost. The Bengal famine, the most extreme manifestation of widespread wartime deprivation. The cost on India's home front must be counted in millions of that. That uh, this bringing so much of or utilizing or directing so much of efforts and people and money. It happened at a lot of. There was a human cost to it. With the Bengal famine, the most extreme um, manifestation of widespread wartime deprivation. Bengal famine was, according to the, I mean, I'm not aware of it seriously thus far, but that happens to be a great sign or a great effect which happened, or the result some way of the war. The cost in India's home front must be counted in millions of lives, saying that millions of lives were lost. Lives were lost, providing. So the what is trying to say that author is trying to say that author is trying to bring out what this is a very good example of argumentative RC. The author from the very first paragraph, the author is very clear that India as a country has ignored, it has not given itself and the people who died and the people who worked so hard to bring out this mammoth 2.5 to 25 million people being trained. It must have been such a big exercise. It must have been such a big activity. How many people would have been involved in this entire? We don't know. We still don't know. Millions of lives were lost in. in providing such a mammoth case, such the men and material, men and material for the next says that Indians signed up to serve the war and home fronts for a variety of reasons. Many were convinced that their contribution would open doors. Indians signed up to serve on the war and home front for a variety of reasons. Many were convinced that their contributions would open the doors to India's freedom. The political and social churn triggered by the war was evident in the massive waves of popular uh, protest and unrest washed over rural and urban India in the aftermath of the this turmoil was crucial in persuading the Attlee government to rid itself of the incubus of ruling India. So it says that Indians signed up for the war for a variety of reasons, and they were convinced that after the war, India's freedom will come. Because remember that see, Indian political movement was happening. There was lull. There used to be this movement. Then Gandhi used to say something. Then there was again some movement. Then there was again lull. So this used to continuously keep on happening. So the Indians thought that if they will work, if they will provide British with support here, probably they might in return give us a freedom. Or they also thought that since the agenda or the motto behind why we fought, why the World War II was fought, was World War II was fought because they were expansionist, and they were uh, colonial uh, aggression, which was done by Germany, which was done by Japan, right? Italy. So somewhere they thought that since the past, like US and UK, they're fighting against this idea of slavery, against this idea of modern slavery, against the idea of forced of staying in a foreign country with power, with the help of army and gun and bullet. They're fighting against this idea. Probably after the World War II, they might consider this idea that they should give up their stake. Already there was a political movement in India, and that political movement would have taken over the politics of India. And from there, Indians would have brought up their own country, which they actually did. So because of these ideas also, and these thoughts and these ideas and the literature and the radio and cinema and newspaper, the political and social churn triggered by the war was evident in the massive waves of popular protest and unrest that washed over rural and urban India in the aftermath of the conflict. This turmoil was crucial in persuading the Attlee government to get to rid itself of the incubus of ruling India. After World War II happened, there was massive political and social unrest in India. And what is incubus? Incubus is a complicated, unpleasant situation. Basically, incubus is it's a spirit. It's an evil spirit. Basically, it's a ghost or an evil spirit or a devil or a demon, whatever you want to call it. But in this term, it is is used as an unpleasant situation, complicated, unpleasant situation, which you would want to leave only. Let it be. Leave this place. No, that's all. So, with Indians expecting freedom after World War II, after the war, there was there were massive protest. There were massive protests across India, and the British decided to leave India. Leave India, as it had become too complex. As it had become too complex to. Next comes 70 years on, it is time that India engaged with complex legacies of the Second World War. So it says that 70 years on, it is time that India engaged the complex legacies of the Second World War, bringing the war into the ambit of the new national memorial would be a fitting, if not overdue, if not overdue, uh, recognition that this was India's war. It says that if if India is going to say that new war, so this the backdrop, maybe the reason for writing this, the trigger for writing or the backdrop of this piece was that there is a new war memorial is coming up beside India Gate, the India Gate in New Delhi. But this concern, this grievance is very old probably. It says it's 70 years on, it is time that India engaged with complex legacies of the Second World War and bringing the Second World War into owning whatever had happened in the Second World War as their own sacrifices for a better world. India should comes with. Let's go through so let's read quickly the everything. Though a new war memorial has been proposed, India's contribution to Second World War has been ignored or overlooked. India's role in the Second World War has not been completely understood in the minds of the, the, the academic historians and common people. The political climate and the Indo-Pak rivalry, along with the need for validation or self-assurance, are also the factors behind the problem. Next says that India's contribution was very large in the Second World War. Also, the World War, so the war played an important role in the independence of India. India was an important contributor from material, financial, and law, material, financial, and logistical standpoint. My bad. Because of this, the US took interest in India as as a future ally. I guess. India provided a lot of financial support to the Great Britain in the war. Millions of lives were lost uh, in providing men and material for the war. Were lost in India in a bid, in the attempt to provide men and material for the war. With Indians expecting freedom after the war, there were massive protests across India. The British decided to leave India as it had become too complex to. Author claims that omitting mention of Indians who served in the Second World War from the new war memorial is omitting the mention of Indian who served in the Second World War from the new memorial is a reflection of misplaced priorities of the. So nowhere it was mentioned that there was some misplaced priorities of the post-independence government. This was nowhere said. What it said was that the political climate, Indo-Pak rivalry, and fueled by the need for self-assurance led to all this. Was one of the reasons. But basically it is a reflection. What they said initially, it was a reflection of point number 3, option number 3, that the academic historians, at the same time the people of India, they have completely forgotten World War II. They don't want to remember World War II. That is one of the most. So this was nowhere said, irrelevant and incorrect also. 2 says it is something which can be rectified in future by constructing a separate memorial. No, this was never said. He said that you can just simply bringing World War II, simply just saying that this is also referring to World War II. This memorial is also a tribute to the Indians who laid down their life, whether as civilians or as military personnel or as police or other, you know, other parts of the forces, or other the domestic level police departments. Whatever was a contribution, we respect that contribution, and this memorial has been dedicated to that contribution. A reflection of academic and popular view of India's role. This is correct here. The reflection of academic and popular view of India's role. Appropriate as their names can always be included in India Gate Memorial. This is again irrelevant. Incorrect, because this was no asset. So basically this is what? This is a database question. You can just have to go back and you have to just look at the data. You will get to know where was this data present. It was here. Second line. India's second paragraph. India's role in the Second World War has not been completely understood in the minds of academic historians and common people. Don't remember it and they don't want to understand. Reflection of academic and popular view. So just by writing things in your own language is helpful. The phrase mood music is used in the second paragraph to indicate that Second World War is viewed as. The the phrase mood music is used in the Second World War indicate in mood music in the second paragraph indicate that Second World War. You say mood music is what is how does said how what is remember what is how does use mood music means something was just as a background music, right? A part of narrative on the ill effects of colonial rule. No, it was never said that it was an ill effect of colonial rule. It was never said. Irrelevant and incorrect. A backdrop to the subsequent independence and partition of India. This is true. That mood music means it's just a background music. Something which is not an important part, not an essential part. It's just a subsidiary, ancillary, nothing which you will discuss separately. Separately, it will not be discussed. Yeah, in the entire Indian independence movement, if there are 20 chapters, one chapter will come. Yeah, what was the effect of those 5 years? In that, say 5 paragraphs or 3 paragraphs will come about World War II. In that way, it is seen. Just a backdrop. That's all. Nothing major about it. And this actually is the case. If you read books, this is actually the case. Setting the stage for the emergence of India-Pakistan rivalry in the south. No, this is again irrelevant. It was never said. India-Pakistan rivalry is the reason why World War II was in a way forgotten, or World War II was the World War II was not owned up by India. We did not own ourselves, our contribution. That was the reason. But it is not it did not set a stage for the India-Pakistan rivalry. In fact, India-Pakistan rivalry was the reason why World War II was considered as a mood music at a later point of time. So it is, it's completely irrelevant and completely incorrect, I should say. A tragic period in terms of the loss of lives and national wealth. Tragic period was never. Mood music means something which sets a background, nothing with respect to tragic to the tragedy or to the loss or something of that sort is not mentioned. Irrelevant. I don't remember. If there's any questions, you can please also ask me questions if they're at all there. Anybody home? Anybody there? Please ask me questions. I'm a person. I also need some interaction from your end. When I will end up, I'll see 14 views. That's all. But I will not see people here asking questions. I don't know why. The authors suggest that the main reason why India has not so far acknowledged its role in Second World War is that author suggests that the major reason why India has not so far acknowledged its role in the Second World War is that okay, what was the reason? Major reason? You remember? We go to the again second paragraph. So remember, second paragraph is answering so many questions for us. India's role in the Second World War has not been completely understood in the minds of, one reason is that it has not been completely understood or remembered in the minds of academic historians and the common people. The political climate and the Indo-Pak rivalry, along with the need for validation or self-assurance, are also. So Indo-Pak rivalry, political climate, and need for self-assurance or validation in India. These are also the factors behind the authors suggest that a major reason why India has not so far acknowledged its role in the Second World War is that it blames the war for leading to the momentous partition of the country. We don't do that. Is again irrelevant. Wants to forget human and financial toll of the war on the country. It is again irrelevant. It was nowhere said that that India blames the war for momentous partition of the country. Wants to forget the human and financial toll. No, sorry, nowhere said. He says that it has been focused on building an independent, non-colonial political identity. Yes, that's the correct. That remember we were saying that we the in terms of you read the part in which we said, which we understood it to be, that there was a need for both countries. Like I said, no, I was explaining that when new countries, new states, or new organization or new people start their lives, they need some fresh stories, some positive stories to believe in themselves, right? They need some fresh stories for with partition and the onset of India Pakistan rivalry. Both the new nations needed fresh stories for self legitimization rather than focusing on shared wartime experience. So if you say that, talk about World War II, you will also have to talk about Pakistan's contribution also, because that was also part of the India when this happened. This will become a complex situation for us. Probably we're not ready, right? We're now ready, maybe we're not ready, under not my cup of tea. So it says it has been focused on building an independent, non-colonial political identity. Views 4 says views the war as in predominantly allied effort. Predominantly allied effort, with India playing only a supporting role. So it was nowhere mentioned in the paragraph that India saw war as a allied effort, with India referring to with India giving only a supporting role. This was again irrelevant. So, but also to see that we what are we referring to here? We it's again a data. I can say it's more of a database question. We know second paragraph was talking about why World War II was forgotten, the reasons. So we just need to come to the second paragraph, read the summary of it, and go and answer the question. All we have to do. 4 says in the first paragraph, author laments the fact that in the first paragraph, the author laments the fact that what was the author unhappy about? In the first paragraph, it says, though a new war memorial has been proposed, India's contribution to the Second World War has been ignored or overlooked. So basically, it uses the word airbrushed out of existence. Airbrushed. That means whatever loss, whatever sacrifice we had done, that has not been So there is, so fourth says, yeah, fourth one says that there is no, one says, so there is no recognition of the Indian soldiers who served in the Second World War. Correct. This is what he was saying. Still, we'll read the other three. India lost thousands of lives during the Second World War. No, he was not saying that. He was saying that we were not recognized. He mentioned about 90,000 plus people losing lives as in a way that how big was our contribution, how big a player we were, how much the other allied allied partners, how much they valued us, or what was our value, right? In this theater, in this Southeast Asia theater, or say with respect to the Middle East, Africa, or wherever Europe, wherever Indians went, what were we doing there? So basically, this is again irrelevant and incorrect. He says funds will be wasted on another war memorial when we have will be wasted on another war memorial when we already have India Gate Memorial. It is again it is irrelevant. The new war memorial building will be right next to the India Gate. Again, it is irrelevant. He never said. With respect to wasting of money, with respect to people losing war, that's why people losing lives in Second World War. With respect to, he never mentioned that the new war memorial will be built right next to the India Gate. This is the right answer. Author lists all of the following as outcomes of Second World War. Author lists all of the following as the outcomes of Second World War, except what was the outcomes of the Second World War, except A, one, large scale deaths in Bengal as a result of, author said that this is one of the reasons. So this is correct, hence not the right answer. So to find what is except it, except, right? So read the question also very carefully. Independence of the subcontinent and its partition to two countries, correct. So from the correct on the basis of the fact. The facts. The large financial debt India owed to Britain after the World War. No, remember what was the case? Britishers owed to India. India provided a lot of financial support to Great Britain in the war. So India finished the war as one of the largest creditors to the imperial power. So this is the answer, because it is saying opposite of it, that India owed money to Britain. No, Britain owned India to money. We credited a lot of money to them. So it was British who were in debt of India and not vice versa. I don't know, did they give it back to us or not? I don't know. This is a question we can ask in the next parliament, or whenever the British PM comes to India. Did you pay those areas? If not, then pay now. Whatever it might be. Must be one scandal of a foreign ministry level. It's just a joke in political. The large financial debt India owed to Britain after the war. Ford says the US re, re, uh, re, recognition of India's strategic location and role in the US recognized India's role, India's strategic location and role. Again, correct. Hence, it is not the answer. Look for something which is incorrect, which is irrelevant, just accept something which has not been said. Is going to look said in third. The large financial debt in India owed to Britain. Because the fact was that Britishers owed that amount of money to India. So this is correct. The basis. All right. I hope this has been understood. Yeah. So yes, tomorrow 9 a.m. again will come. We'll be having one more class on para jumbles, and then 2 p.m. we'll be having a class on reading comprehension. This Sunday I'm not taking any special class. Special class will happen on Wednesday 5 p.m. next Wednesday next week, and the next Sunday, not this Sunday. This Sunday which is coming, the next Sunday on the special class on the app, and then from Monday to Friday. So now it was earlier it was Tuesday to Friday. This week it was Tuesday to Saturday, including tomorrow. But then from Monday onwards it will be Monday to Friday. Saturday will be probably I may come up with some special class at a later point of time. But right now there is sort of a break for you people from my standpoint, and a special class on Sunday evening and Wednesday evening. And then we are coming up with a lot of plus courses also, which I'm coming up with. So if you want to study with me in plus course, live course, you have to come in, subscribe on Academy, and we'll do amazing stuff. Okay. So interact with educator, live polls and leader poll, test series and analysis, and do live doubt clearing sessions. So also you know that whatever the special live classes are there, they are free, and those which have happened earlier, they are also recorded, so you can visit them n number of times. YouTube classes are also, they're free, they're recorded, and visit us and utilize them. But at the same time, if you want to excel test series and analysis, getting the entire study plan and doubt clearing sessions, deep clearing session, this is again very important. Use the code referral code Saxena10 to get 10% discount.